Okay, here we go. Hello, beautiful souls. Today is my first recording about my first reading since I came back from our week-long retreat. I'm level 1 medium in training for being an evidential medium. This is a course that was put on by Suzanne Giesman and Jean Else through the Shift Network, and it's been fascinating because I didn't think I could be a medium if I wasn't born one. So let me share with you my experience, my very first experience since I've been back from training. I had a reading yesterday with my fellow colleague because we're all in training, and the goal and the purpose is to get better at our connection and understanding how to process and connect with all our different clairs, which would be the clairsentience in feelings, clairaudio might be hearing, clairvoyance would be seeing. Very different than our five senses in our human form. And so I set my intention before I began. I was clear about what I was looking for. I shared with the spirit world that who's ever here to help us train and help us in our experience, because they are as well, and they are practicing as well, because they know they want to get the right messages to us, and so we're learning to correspond differently. Okay, and so I set the intention. I asked anybody who was here for my sitter that I was going to do in about a half hour to please come through and assist me with tapping into more of my clairs and get more clarity on our communication. It was fascinating. And so I connected with this man. It took me about 30 seconds to connect with him. And as soon as we connected, it was very clear to me what he looked like. He had a full head of hair, salt and pepper, mostly pepper. He had a mustache to match. It was very full. He was full, average height. Okay, and even at some point, I saw him smoke a cigarette. I'm like, oh, and he smoked cigarettes. So we're standing there, and I realized that we weren't going anywhere. And I sent him a message, which could be telepathically. I'm not using my mouth, right, in words. I'm sending a message. Why are we here? What would you like me to share with the sitter? And I said, where are we? And immediately we start walking into a room that looks like and feels like a chapel within a funeral home. And I realized really quickly we were at a funeral. We were at a wake. And I went, oh, we're at a wake, and it's full house. And he is in a suit and tie, does not look comfortable in his tie, like it's a little bit tight. I feel like he's sweating a little bit, but he's actually very happy because we have a full house. And then I realize, I get a claircognizant, a knowing that we are at his wake. His wake. And so I said, oh my goodness, we're at his wake. This wake is for him, and he's so happy that it's a full house. And there's some beverages afterwards. I can sense there's coffee and light snacks like cookies. So again, I said to him, why are we here? What message do you have for the sitter? And immediately he walked over to this girl. In my mind's eye, I can see it, I can feel it. And he sits down next to her and pats her leg. And I went, oh my gosh, she's sitting down next to a girl, and it's you. I said to my sitter, it's you. And he is so happy you are here. And I actually even said out loud, like, why would he? Of course you're going to be there. Like, my logical brain is going, okay, well, why wouldn't she be there? Okay. But I'm just delivering the emotions, the sentiments, the feeling that I'm getting that's coming from him, so that I'm giving her the message. And we went a little further, and of course I don't want to tell you too much because this is personal, but after this reading was over, and I said to her, he was so happy you were there. And she said, yes, because there were things that happened in the family. They were a little bit separated, right? I don't know what the word is. They had a falling out, not with her per se, but other family members, and she didn't get to say goodbye to him. So it was really spot on that he was happy she was there. that amazing? So when you realize that you can bring messages to assist those here, now this was a healing for her that she didn't even know she needed. Isn't that amazing? She didn't know that she was feeling some sort of a sorrow or a void because she didn't get to say goodbye. And this is probably 15 or 20 years earlier. But it still developed into a beautiful healing just from the energy and the emotion that went back and forth. Oh my goodness, these experiences and ones like this are exactly why I'm continuing this journey. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, you certainly can pop me a comment. I'm trying to get some links down below that make sense for you. Again, this is following the evidential mediumship through Mavis Batilla, which Suzanne Giesemann trained under. And because of Mavis's wife, Jean, who was very into teaching and techie stuff, she was able to capture 25 years worth of videos that she's going through so that we can literally be trained by Mavis herself. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.